Adventurous kids, explore with education and learning what a wildlife is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West Adventurous Kids, learning and fun. Adventurous Kids!
Today, I'm going to tell you about seed plants. So in the plant world, there are different categories and different ways to define plants. And one of the first ways scientists or botanists, people who study plant life, will start to classify plants as seed plants versus seedless plants. Seedless plants is a different episode. This episode, we're going to focus primarily on seed plants. So what does that mean? Really what it comes down to is how the plants reproduce. So a seed plant reproduces or spreads its kind using its seeds. There are over 300,000 species and different kinds of seed plants, and if I started to name them all, this episode would run for a really long time. But the most common are gymnosperms, and they're the kind that produce no fruit, and they were the first seed plant and the one that you know as a pine tree, right? So there are many different kinds, but the most common one that you know would be a pine tree. And those came about 382 million years ago, the first seed plant. And that seed plant is important because what you're gonna find is the first plants were actually part of the seedless plant category. Again, different episode. The other thing that makes seed plants interesting is that they don't need water to reproduce. They're able to soak in water from the ground and get it from different sources, and it's not necessary for spreading the pollen, which carries what will become a zygote, right? Water isn't necessary. So that made it so that seed plants could sprout, in deserts or in like really cold areas all over because water wasn't necessary for reproduction. So the seed is what protects the embryo, or like I said before, the zygote, which will eventually become whatever plant that was spreading the seed wherever it lands and decides to make its home. So, and the seed works, it's really cool. It's like filled with all the nutrients that zygote needs to be successful and to thrive. So the other type of seed plants are called angiosperm, and these are the ones that you're probably going to be most familiar with because these are fruit-bearing plants. So not all fruits or things that grow, the berries that grow off of trees are edible or taste good, but either way they fall under the category of a fruit-bearing tree. And more often than not, the fruit that it bears carries the seed that when it gets consumed by us or when it gets consumed by an animal and then it gets, we'll say, disposed of, that's how that seed travels and that type of plant spreads its kind. Thank you for watching this episode of Adventurous Kids.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous